Yo, what's up, string makers and potential string makers? I was asked to make a video about how to make a string with no rig. So that's what we're doing today. I'm just gonna do a short, well, it's probably not gonna be all that short, but so the only thing I'm gonna use is a drill, some thread of your choice, and this is the hardware that I'm using, an S-hook and a hook bolt. You could also make these out of like clothes hangers if you wanted to. You have pair pliers, you want to cut up a clothes hanger and make these shapes, you could get away with doing that too. So just to get started real quick, I'm also going to use this doorknob as my anchor point, and I'm going to use the squares on my tile floor to kind of know distances of about what I'm doing. So I'm going to start out with about 12 feet of length. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And put my drill down there. And then I'm going to run thread back and forth between my anchor point and the hook in my drill. So first thing down here in the anchor point, you need to actually tie a loop into your thread, like so. Big enough to fit over your doorknob. And then you're gonna make passes back and forth. So one pass or wrap or loop, whatever term you prefer to use, equals a down and back. So I'm gonna do 7 on this string. So we're gonna go down to the other end. All right, and this is where I use my S-hook at, and you'll kind of see why later on. But I put my S-hook in there, so that's down and back, makes one loop. So we're gonna hook that over the end of the anchor point there and then go back down. We're gonna do this 7 times. So bear with me for just a minute or so. That's 2. 3. 4. 5. 6. And last pass back down. 7. All right, so when we get back to the starting point, we're gonna need to cut this and put another loop in here to anchor it down. So I'll cut that. Gonna tie a little loop here. Like so. And I'm gonna hook it over the anchor point again. And so that's it as far as running the thread out for the string. So now we're gonna go back down here to the drill end. We're gonna pick the drill up. And I had mentioned the distances earlier, so I'm actually a little bit over 12 feet right here. So I'm gonna bring this down to about the 11-foot mark, just for kind of a reference on how much I'm bringing the string down. So what happens here is that as you spin the string and it gets tighter and tighter, it will also get shorter and shorter. You'll start to see that here in a minute. And you're gonna need to keep a little bit of tension on this. It doesn't need to be crazy tight at this point, but you do wanna keep a little bit of tension on it, and you'll be able to you'll get a feel for it pretty quick of just holding some tension on the string, and allow it to pull you a little bit and a little bit more as it gets tighter and tighter. So this will take, 30 seconds or so, and we're already starting to get tighter and shorter down here, and we're gonna take it all the way to this line right here. So going down like this. The reason I use the S hooks is because I don't like going hooking directly onto the hook bolt, because if you catch your finger in one of those things, it really hurts. The S hooks kind of give you an opportunity to have like sort of like a quick disconnect, kind of a safety thing, I guess. All right, so that's about as far down as I'm gonna drag it. So now things actually get a little bit trickier, because what we need to do is we need to take this long string and we need to fold it in half. But in doing that, we cannot let the tension off the string, because if you let the tension off pretty much at all, your entire string's just gonna jumble up on you, and that's no good. We don't want that. So here's what's gonna happen is I'm gonna unhook this. I'm gonna keep the tension on it. I'm gonna put my drill kind of out towards the middle here on the floor so I can reach it in a minute. And I'm gonna hold on to this end of the string, keeping the tension. And I'm gonna, at pretty much the maximum of my wingspan, which this might make it a little bit easier for you if you're a little bit taller, but even if you're making strings for yourself and you're shorter, it shouldn't be a big deal, because you'll just need a shorter string. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take this half and I'm gonna fold it. Hopefully you can see what's going on. I'm gonna fold it around like this while keeping the tension on it. Okay. And over here, I'm gonna hook this S hook onto the loop that's out there, right where the other one was. And I've kept the tension on the string this entire time. Okay. And now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna grab my drill again and I'm gonna hook back into the bottom of it. And I'm gonna change the direction of the drill. So now we're actually gonna be spinning counterclockwise. And what we wanna do is we wanna spin this counterclockwise, and it'll start to kind of let itself out. Like the length will get back longer again. And you wanna keep spinning this until it no longer is getting longer. It will stop getting longer and start getting shorter again. That's when you wanna stop spinning it counterclockwise in this part of the thing. So now I can start to feel it getting shorter again, and that's pretty much it. So I'm gonna unhook this, and I'm going to kind of let it relax a little bit as I work my way up to the top. And I'm gonna unhook my S hook, tie a little knot in the end, about where it starts to get clean, which is about right there. Grab a pair of scissors, cut off this excess fuzzy stuff, and that's about it. It's pretty simple, and you end up with a pretty nice little yo-yo string here with no rig and very, very minimal tools. It probably won't be as consistent as what you would get if you were building on a rig, but if you're just wanting to make stuff at home on the cheap, that's pretty much the way to do it. So anybody can do this. It's really not difficult. Go make some string.